Welcome back to my views and news. Several viewers contacted me. They sent me messages, emails, and some of them called me. They said, Sajid, Ethiopia has purchased new combat drones. Some news outlets are reporting. You covered the war, 2 year long war, and back then you reported, along with other people too, that Ethiopia had received combat drones, it was using combat drones, and now you are silent when Ethiopia is purchasing more drones. Uh, I would like to speak on that. Has Ethiopia really purchased new combat drones? Do we have any evidence to suggest that Ethiopia has acquired new drones? Secondly, Amhara Media Corporation, a new story about a journalist of this corporation who refused to read a new story about Fano. What happened? Thirdly, third news story is it's about Eritrea, but it's from the US. In the US, a conference is starting today. The agenda is very interesting. Post Isaias Afwerki Eritrea. What should be post Isaias Afwerki Eritrea look like? What type of constitution should be put in place, should be formed for a democratic Eritrea? Who is organizing this conference? And when opposition groups start discussing post Isaias Afwerki scenario, does it mean that they have acknowledged that they cannot bring about any change in Eritrea as long as Isaias Afwerki is in power? Firstly, viewers, drones, combat drones, modern combat drones. Well, when in 2021 Tigray forces retreated from Amhara, Afar regions, if you remember back then, my position was that this change happened because Ethiopian government had acquired modern combat drones. It was becoming increasingly difficult for Tigray fighters to continue their advance. We shared several pictures, videos showing military vehicles, tanks, artillery pieces of Tigray forces precisely hit by these drones, especially in Afar. So Tigray fighters realized that Mekelle to Oromia Special Zone, Mekelle to Chifra was not as difficult as from Chifra to Ethiopia Djibouti Road or from Oromia Special Zone to Addis Ababa would be the advance. So that is why, and they were finding it difficult to get allies to international acceptance was declining. In case of their takeover of Addis Ababa, it was difficult for them to get international acceptance within Ethiopia. Lots of issues, mainly militarily, they suffered losses. They withdrew, they retreated. And I remember when I reported that Tigray forces had started retreating, no one believed. I got the information from the people on the ground, and some of them were sharing pictures, videos with me. I salute those people. And some of them went through hard times because of staying in touch with me. But they confirmed that the withdrawal had started. And then later it was confirmed. When in 2021 we reported that Ethiopia had purchased modern combat drones, we reported that after some verification, we got little bit evidence, bits and pieces of evidence. We connected dots. For example, several flights were tracked between an airport in Turkey, which is known for shipment of, which is known for provision of drones. Tekirdağ Ataturk Korlu Airport is in Turkey. And on this airport, reportedly, there is an assembling plant of Turkish TB2 drones, reportedly. So, whenever Turkey exports drones, flights mostly take off from Tekirdağ Korlu Airport. I saw that in Libya, I saw that in Azerbaijan-Armenia war, and then in Ethiopian war too. That flights from this airport took off to the rest destinations where drones were to be supplied. Same happened in Ethiopia. Flights flew from Tekirdağ Ataturk Korlu Airport, landed in Bishaftu. So it was partially confirmed that flights were carrying TB2 drones and other Turkish drones. Then these drones use a specific type of ammunition, MAML, which is manufactured by a Turkish company, laser guided munition. And when these drones carried out strikes, debris people recovered pieces of this ammunition from debris. So again a confirmation. And later we saw satellite images analyzed by experts, and it was clear that Ethiopia had purchased TB2 drones from Turkey, Wenglongs Chinese drones from UAE, and Mohajer 6 Iranian drones. But all that what we reported had some basis. On the basis of these bits and pieces, we built our analysis and shared with you. Now, some Ethiopian news outlets are claiming that Ethiopia has purchased more Turkish combat drones after Pretoria deal this year. The drones were acquired this year, not before Pretoria deal. And they say that Fano, Ethiopian military chief, visited Turkey last year, and after that the drones were delivered. Well, firstly, I think I covered Fano visit. Fano visit was not an isolated visit. Rather, when Jula was in Turkey, I think several other military commanders of different countries were in Turkey. There was some sort of military exhibition or maneuvers there. That is why military officers from different countries, they were invited. Bahano Jula attended that program too. That is what I learned back then. I have not been able to find any direct flight between Tekirdağ Ataturk Korlu Airport of Turkey and an Ethiopian airport this year. Maybe flights took off from the airport, they landed in Ethiopia, but the flights could not be tracked. Yes, it's a possibility. I contacted a few people yesterday who monitor flight data to get confirmation that was there any flight from this Turkish airport to Ethiopia this year. I could not confirm so far. Ethiopia, as I said earlier, bought Turkish drones TB2s in 2021. Is Ethiopia trying to enhance its drone number? It's not clear. It's difficult to say. A few weeks ago, at an Ethiopian military parade, TB2s were shown, Winglongs were shown too. And by the way, when Turkey sells drones to a country, its experts, its engineers ensure that drones are in a good condition. So they are responsible for repair and maintenance too. Drones need regular maintenance and repair work too. So Turkish experts, Turkish engineers, they are responsible for this maintenance. They keep on visiting the countries where they have sold drones, to which they have sold drones. They ensure that drones are kept well maintained. Ethiopia could be interested in buying more combat drones, but it's too early to say without having some evidence. So I am in the process of trying to get something tangible to say that Ethiopia has purchased combat drones. It's unfair without having evidence to say that Ethiopia is spending on the purchase of this drone, because one Turkish drone costs around 5 million US dollars. Question will be asked that on the one hand, Ethiopian economy is in dire straits, people are dying of hunger in Tigray, deaths from hunger. Ethiopia begging for bailout package. On the other hand, it's purchasing more combat drones while there is no war imminent. So why is that? Question will be asked. But let's wait for a verification. So those who are reporting, onus of proof is on them. They should tell the people what is the source. Just a verbal source, some pictures, videos, satellite images showing new arrivals, any flights tracked between Turkey and Ethiopia. I have no such information. Again, when we reported in 2021, we were helped by people, experts who were monitoring flight operations, experts who used to geolocate pictures, experts who were skilled in identifying types of weapons, drones, etc. So it was a joint effort, learned from each other. That is how we reported. This time, only a verbal claim from an Ethiopian news source. Let's wait if we can find out more information to back this claim. So far, it's not possible for me to confirm that Ethiopia has purchased new combat drones recently. Secondly, viewers, an Amhara media corporation journalist refused to read a new story about Fano fighters. His name is Habtamo Muhabba. He works on Amhara Media Corporation, and he was given a new script with title Terrorist Fano. He refused to read the news, threw away the mic and left the news platform. Important thing which I want to say about this new story is that just shows that this anti-government resistance movement is expanding. It's not that just a few Fano fighters are fighting against Ethiopian National Defense Force. This movement is getting acceptance in the Amhara region. People are starting to support. People from all walks of life, gradually they are joining the struggle. That is why Fano fighters are facing no shortage of manpower, no shortage of money too reported, heavily funded. And we are seeing that journalists, activists, scholars, political workers, they are backing Fano fighters in different ways. On their platforms, in their private lives, they are with this resistance movement. That is why I say that Ethiopian government cannot crush, or it's difficult for the government to crush this resistance movement, because now People are supporting Fano fighters. Only way forward is dialogue, talks. Otherwise, the movement is gradually expanding. As we know that arrests are on the rise, uh, people are being charged with treason, all types of uh, people from all walks of life are being arrested. Fano fighters are dying too. Security officials are dying too as well. So all this is leading to expansion of anti-government resistance movement in the Amhara. That is why, influenced by this movement, this journalist, he's a journalist. He's not a Fano fighter, but influenced by the narrative built by Fano fighters that Amhara people are in danger, that Fano is fighting for the survival of Amhara people. Influenced by this narrative, the journalist refused to read a news story. He refused to call Fano terrorist Fano. Thirdly, viewers, Eritrean opposition groups are starting discussions in Pennsylvania, US today. They are discussing post-Isaias Afwerki Eritrea. What should be post-Isaias Afwerki Eritrea be like? Which type of constitution should be introduced in Eritrea after Isaias Afwerki? Well, 2 points. Firstly, an admission by these opposition groups that they cannot bring about any change in Eritrea as long as Isaias Afwerki is in power. US planning post-Isaias Afwerki scenario. Eritrean opposition planning post-Isaias Afwerki scenario. It means that they have acknowledged that Isaias Afwerki is in full control. They cannot change system of government in Eritrea as long as Isaias is in power. Secondly, this conference starting today is being organized by Eritrean Afar National Congress, EANC. EANC leader Ahmed Yusuf said that Afars are marginalized. They are in Eritrea, Ethiopia, Djibouti, especially in Eritrea. They are under repression and they have right to have their democratic rights in Eritrea, which are being denied. So this organization is proposing that Eritrea should have a federal democratic constitution. All groups should have equal rights in Eritrea. And the group claims that Afars are being marginalized and that Afars and others will join hands for a democratic federal Eritrea. Let's see which other groups, opposition groups, will attend this conference in the US. Problem is that there is no opposition in Eritrea, not allowed to work in Eritrea. Outside Eritrea, opposition is split. There is EANC, there is Seedling for Change, there is Bright Future Movement, several other groups, some working along ethnic lines, etc. What is needed is some sort of effort to unite this opposition. And there are some groups backed by Eritrean government too. Eritrean government has deep penetration among diaspora. Diaspora supports Eritrean government, especially this Tigray war increased Eritrean government's penetration in Eritrean diaspora. Even diaspora members opposed Isaias Afwerki, some of them started backing Eritrean government in the 2-year-long war. So opposition is split. Its discussion, its seminars, its policy papers, its research papers have failed to bring about any change in Eritrea. I think before bringing about any change in Eritrea, these opposition parties should try to form an alliance, a broad alliance with some common goals. They should show their commitment to these common goals. If they can unite, maybe they can put up resistance to the Isaias Afwerki government. Otherwise, what is post-Isaias Afwerki Eritrea going to be like? That is open to debate. Different groups or different interpretations of post-Isaias Afwerki scenario. No one knows what will actually happen after Isaias Afwerki lost power, if he did. Thank you for watching.